welcome to another week of the Rewind, where I actually have my guest, Bryce, Jim Paul, because he did such a good job last week. I decided, you know what, let's sign this guy again. Let's.
Yeah, right. Fair enough. Hey, bud.
Yeah, how you doing, Bryce? How's things? How's life? How's the week been for you?
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, pretty standard OPL week so far, but I mean, it's going well. It's going well. How about your week? How was your week?
Yeah, my week was good. Had a nice little event yesterday that I might have seen you at.
Oh
That
yeah,
was
yeah,
about
true.
brands and
Yeah,
how they can get involved in esports. So that was real sleek, real nice.
you're
Uh,
such a shill. No,
I'm such a what?
a shill. Don't worry, love it.
Anyways, all right.
Mm,
Let's get started. Let's get to it. What are we rewinding? What's our rewind? Let's start with the OPL.
mm,
And let's go with. I know there was one game in particular that you wanted to like really talk about. That was
mm.
the Bombers and the Mammoth game. So
Yeah.
yeah, talk to me about that. I'll leave that one to you.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I mean, the Bombers Mammoth game is super interesting. I think Bombers are like cementing themselves as like the best team in the OPL so far. Like they have very good record and have had very good showings against everyone. But like
Mm.
this was kind of Mammoth's week to like bounce back, I guess. Like, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, they're ramping up, yada yada," over the course of time. Like, they had a very rough start, and then they turned it around. But then this game was just completely the opposite. It was
Yeah,
actually, it was just a complete stomp. But like, was it like a 20-minute stomp? It was just like a slow grind out.
I think they're
Um,
the worst stomps. I want to get out of there. If I'm
yeah,
losing, I
mm,
want to get out as quick as
mm,
possible.
yeah, somewhat. And so like, they literally just got grinded and like did almost nothing. So it was kind of like a real disappointing loss, I
Was
think.
there
But like, it was one of the most surprising this week.
was there um was there a kind of a standout? As in like, okay, was there a I'm gonna say a jock, and was there a flop? Was there like a really good player
What?
for Bombers,
Oh,
and then was there a flop for Mammoth,
um,
or not,
I don't
or
know.
not
I
really?
think I mean like I'm blanking on individuals. I
Mm.
think like if my memory serves me correctly, it was like topside again. It was like Volcan for Bombers, and I feel like they do that kind of like week after, but like they don't play around bot side that much anymore. Like which is kind of like surprising.
Mm.
Also like Jock and Fly, cannot believe you said that.
Bro, how funny is
Um,
that? No, jock like high school jock, like the
yeah,
big alpha
yeah.
male guys.
Yeah, no. Of course,
That's pretty.
Fuck
I
yeah.
thought it
So
was pretty
oh my god,
smart. Like
it's
I thought it was pretty. Like I thought I
um
would, like copywriting that.
yeah, but like it was just yeah, it was super weird. It was super weird the trajectory. They didn't go as I feel like a lot of people like literally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna agree with you on that one.
Hmm.
Next up on the agenda was the Chiefs order game. How'd that one play out?
Hmm.
I actually thought order were gonna do a little bit better than what they did against Chiefs. Like I thought
Hmm.
that, like, I feel like you can only be on like a downward spiral for so many weeks, and like I don't mean that in a disrespectful sense, but like you eventually will play better. Like like if you put in the work. That's the way I look
Hmm.
at it, right? Obviously,
Yeah.
confidence is an issue and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I feel like this was a week where I actually just had a gut feeling that they were gonna play like way better, and
Yeah.
I think Chiefs shut that down pretty quickly. Like yes,
I mean,
there was
yeah.
glimmers, but it was I don't know.
I think Order is sort of that team where you kind of like there's always the potential, but like for a couple of weeks you haven't really seen it. I feel like that they've honestly from like an outsider's perspective looking in, it looks like as soon as something goes wrong, it's just like okay, we've lost.
Mm.
And then like you know what I mean, like something breaks down because like they start okay. They had like a weird comp. They went for like Nunu with like a Callista lane. And then
Sam's
it just
such a Nunu player. Spooks is
yeah.
literally a Nunu.
No, that's a banger. Like Nuna's not bad,
No.
but and I'm not saying the comp was necessarily bad, but it's like weird to see. And then it's like hard camp for Callista, but like don't get much done.
Mm.
Um, and then like Tally was just getting boomed on the other side.
It feels like
Say?
well, does it feel like Order is like stuck in the FBI rogue bot lane meta, or like
Mm,
does it feel like that because like in my head, uh, Ronan's a good player in his own right, but like I think FBI is like a player where it's like you evidently cater towards like his lane, and Bombers aren't actually doing that, right? But
mm.
historically, we saw Order just play through bot lane like the whole split pretty much, and I feel like they're just doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, I don't know if I fully agree, to be honest. I feel like Dream like his is like where I would say like his problems are like aren't necessarily being able to get the lead or whatever. It's like leveraging it and being reliable with it, which
Yeah.
is like you know what I mean. You can play through Dream in the same way that you can play through FBI, and then like you can get him through lane phase with the lead, and then like he will be, but like it's like then like ultimately like what happens fairly often is like some fight goes wrong for Order, whether it's like Dream getting caught in the river or just like a team fight in this game. I think it was like a dragon fight, where they never like Chiefs just like kind of like blew them out with Kled, and then once Chiefs got the advantage, like Order were just getting picked apart. Tally's getting dove, Swiffer's getting dove, and like that kind of leans into what I was saying. Like once something goes wrong, it just seems like everything slowly just crumbles.
Yeah.
And then like they like Chiefs, it was like a 25 stack LeBlanc Medjai's game.
That's
I made a little bet about that.
Yes, was that
We
you?
won't talk about that.
Who made the bet? Someone made a bet that yeah, that was you, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, you said that LeBlanc won't get 25 stacks.
No, I thought she would get 25 stacks and then he'd like dive in the fountain or something. Because like in
I think he did dive, but he didn't die.
The second to last team fight, I was like I saw Claire had like the Medjai's, and I'm like, like this guy's pretty big. That's a big LeBlanc.
Pretty monk-ass.
The next team fight, he like goes for like a hardcore flank, and it's like it's not bad. It's a good play. And I'm just like, he's gonna die the next fight. He's gonna like, you know what I mean? He's just gonna try style on some people, and he's gonna die. And then Pyro took me up, and then I had to eat a lime. But limes aren't that bad.
So sometimes when life gives you limes, you just gotta deal with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
Okay, so the next game was Gravity. I nearly read it as Gravity because I was reading Legacy as well as Gravitas, and then it just didn't work out. Anyways, like we won that one, well played, good job, but it was like a hella clean game for until it wasn't.
Yeah.
So what happened?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's it. Like the early game was super strong.
Yeah.
I feel like we kind of say that week after week.
Yeah. I feel like we're a good early game team. We are.
And then it's like the close or like the transition most time, like in mid game, like something goes wrong. And this time it was like a weird comp. We have like Silas into Riven, and it's like not many people are playing Riven top at the moment. And then like we just gave Paprise all the time in the world to bully the side, which is exactly what like the Riven was.
Yeah.
Right? Like we just needed to actually step up and force Baron.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen for a very long time. And I don't know if that laugh was like out of what I'm saying. I don't know if you can hear.
Who was that? Was that Julian?
That was Julian. That was right.
Yeah. What a broccoli. He's got a big broccoli head.
It was kind of like, just like, we just weren't proactive enough.
Yeah.
Like in like leveraging the lead, right?
Well,
and then, yeah.
Yeah, I'll take you up on the leverage because we did try and leverage the lead in a certain way, and I do have a highlight that is like the like epitome of this leverage. And I will give
for Legacy, but will they be able to do it?
shout-out
Gravitas, decoy over the wall. He does get the taunt, but it's gonna go! No way! Of Gravitas, Pava with the final shot. It's a 4v5, which means it should be Gravitas winning this one. They've already taken guts out of this. One back goes, and it's the Ezreal. Crazy, giving his life, going gold, pulled back in. They're gonna try and stop these ports here, and it's going to be the Morgana deleted. They do have Ezreal pushing them back, the rest of Legacy giving their lives for this cause right now, as there's a pretty big shutdown going the way of Kratos, but he will fall as well. It's all about buying that time, but Paprise has already been chased away.
Certainly has, and now you can see that the fight was for naught. They tried to stop all the ports, they thought they had them all. That can be the only reason that they continue to
Loz, you're right. Sorry, my audio was over the highlight. I'm still working out OBS, so there's going to be a few technical errors here and there. But let me finish. Sorry, let me finish off because I don't think they heard me. So what I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by that clip was that Praelis assured us, guaranteed us, that he smited because he knew Pabu's ability was going to secure that Baron. Therefore, it was not a missed smite. It was actually like a 600 IQ smite that we can't comprehend. Sorry, Bryce, keep going.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like great in theory, but actually wasn't reality literally at all. But I mean, like, no, like this was like fairly late into the point where we'd realized like it was like adapting on the fly. It was like, man, like Pub was just getting shoved in bottom lane. We need to actually force something, and then this is the first time we did. And so like, yeah, you kind of need to play it a little slower and like actually deny Rek'Sai access to the pit. But you know, like that's a little 50-50 and we won. So
I think Squid 3 Megumin Happy in the chat. His name's like really hard to pronounce. I think he summed it up like real well. Great in theory, bad in reality, but I don't even think the theory was there. We're just like, this is just like a big giant meme.
That's a definitely like rewriting of history that I like.
Yeah. See, Benny, Reese Lolties says, or not Lolties anymore actually, he's just Ties. He says that Benny and him would have called me out on that.
No ties.
But regardless of how many times you guys called me out on that, I still would have stuck to my guns and my story. And there's only one man in this world that you can go and question, and that's Levi. Anyway, move on. Let's move on. Let's
Sure.
move on. What's the next game? The next game that we're going to talk about is actually our game again, which is Gravitas Bombers. Are you going to be like a broken record again and say decent early game and a sloppy mid game? What are you going to say here?
Like somewhat genuinely. I feel like this was like same trajectory as last time, but it's Bombers are just very good at like getting Mimic to a point where he can it's like blind Scion into Cannon, which like isn't necessarily like a ground breaking matchup. We've seen that before. We know exactly like what's going.
You trying to flame the guy who did pick ban or?
Look, no. But I think like it was very similar. And then like a few. I'm trying to think about like exactly what happened like earlier on in the game. But like it did somewhat come to a point where there was just like a little bit of like greed for like a side lane, whatever. They get like a very deep flank top side. Like one Baron in the game gets very hard because it's like once they have Baron, the setup to like get control, to get flanks, to get Cannon into the backline becomes incredibly easy. So it was like about like just getting to a point where we could like fight 5v5 like on even footing, and I feel like that didn't happen like early enough to get.
I also think it was kind of a game too where like people were trying to flex on each other 1v1. It was like everyone was like sort of somewhat fighting 1v1 and they were trying to like one up their opponent, and then it's just like the better 1v101 I guess on the day. Like
they were like solo kills from like either side of mid matchup. It's like Yasuo kills Vlad, then Vlad kills Yasuo, and then like all over the place.
It's just a disaster actually if you're a Gravitas fan. In terms of the 1v1s, that is.
yeah. Because like I mean, it's becoming a meme, but it just like starts really strong, and then like something happens, and it's like, oh, okay, damn, and it's like the recovery like needs to be there, and it's very hard to recover against a team like a Bomber.
Oh, well, you can't rely. So in other teams, you can rely on outplaying them 1v1, or like you can rely on outplaying them in a team fight. But like I would say they're probably like one of, if not the best mechanical like team in the league. So it's like you can't.
Like absolutely.
Yeah.
I think also they're very interesting in the way they play because they're not actually. I don't think they're necessarily that proactive at all. I think they're a team that is. I think I was saying this on broadcast. They're very similar to old school Chiefs, like Ray D era, where they didn't really do anything and they just punish you for your mistake.
Yeah.
It's like you have to be very good individually to play that style to like see the mistake, immediately punish. But like that's kind of what they do. Where like they pick like scaling team fight, they pick like Cannon, they pick like they're like a big list like team. Like it's a weird style, but it obviously.
Fun fact, actually, when we used to verse that old iteration of Chiefs, I don't know if you were on that team then. Maybe you were. But we used to get so frustrated because it used to be like, man, they're not that good. Like, they don't do anything to win the game. Like, we can punish, we can beat them. And it's just like, then you just find yourself losing over and over again. And you're like, they're not that good. They're still not that good. Like, we beat ourselves. But it's like, no, that's like...
Dude, Derek Trang was just the king of, like, the war of attrition. He would just very, very slowly just, like, grind things out. And he was like... I forget who I was saying is this too, but he was genuinely the OG Titan. Like he was before,
he was a Titan.
Like I'm a Titan became a thing.
Yeah.
In OS, like he was genuinely the Titan. That's how he played the game.
Well,
like he was taking lifesteal quints when like AD or attack speed quints were meta because he would just like take small trades constantly and like out sustain you.
And he taught me like he was actually the first competitive game I ever had where I figured out what a freeze was. I didn't know what a freeze was. And then he froze on my AD and I pressed tab and I'm like, bro, why are you down 100 CS? And then he's just like, the lane's frozen. And I was like, wait, what? I go, wait, what? Why don't we freeze? Wait, that's broken.
Yeah, fair.
And then the Chiefs lose to 4-0 and gives you they did. I will say that they did lose.
Wasn't on that team.
Actually,
no, wait, was it?
No, you weren't. You weren't.
That was before my time.
Yeah. Okay, moving on, because we hesitated, not hesitated, but we stuck around on that. The next game and probably the final game that we'll touch on is because I was actually super interested in this one, and I told you I wanted to talk about this one. It was the Avant and the Mammoth game. I swear that game was genuinely what you would find if you looked at a solo queue game and like, oh, I'm playing Yasuo bot. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna play Darius. It's just like a cluster of like 4 fun champions that are like, they obviously served their purpose in that game. I'm not saying like there was no reason to pick them, but Yeah, and it was just like, it was like almost open top lane from both sides. You could have made an
Yes.
argument that both sides were like, let's open top and end this game at 15.
No, it was like disaster from Mammoth and then disaster from AV, and it was just like the top matchup. Like, what didn't Swaith have literally like one camp cleared at like 4 minutes?
Yeah.
Just like went top, like ganked, counter ganked, and then like base, and then reset, or like died and reset and go top, and then like he's ganking again. It was just like, yeah, it was actually crazy. Like the start of the game, and then it just eventuated into like somehow like Topoon just massive Darius versus like Gunkrab massive Yasuo.
Yeah.
And it was like, who gets to do damage in the team fight? An Ali combo onto Darius, and like Gunkrab just popped.
Dude,
and, like ultimately that was almost like how the game played out.
Dude, I genuinely thought the game was over though. Like, I remember watching it at the airport, and I was like, okay, like what was it like? I think it was actually like 5-1 Darius, or like 5 something Darius, and I was like, that Mammoth don't have to play the game anymore. Like they can 4-man AFK. Because Darius, they need to send minimum 3, and he probably can still trade 1 kill.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work out that way.
Yeah.
I think
he's one of those champions that, like, I don't know, once you get ahead on Darius, it's like, you're so, like, you do so much. But then it's also, like, interesting, like, outside of the game for, like, playoff standings and stuff. Because it's like, that was an 0-2 week for Mammoth, which is very unexpected, I think.
Yeah,
Like,
I'll bring up the
Bombers
team
game is
standings.
hard, but, like, AV taking a game off Mammoth is, like not unexpected, but like is very impactful for standards.
Well,
like,
no,
like Gravitas, Order, like AV, Mammoth are all like, as in I feel like Bombers and Chiefs are, like, I don't know whether they've statistically locked themselves in, but like they
have
very
statistically
like,
they have.
Yeah, they would have locked themselves in Gauntlet, but like not like in first, second, third
No.
place necessarily.
No.
But
so
well, Bombers have lost 1 game. So
Bombers are on 13 points, Chiefs on 11, Avant on 9, Mammoth on 7, Order and Gravitas on 6, and I won't say the rest because I think.
Yeah, but my point is that like AV, like Mammoth going 0-2 is like very good for like Gravitas and Order. Like AV, it's like good for AV to get the win because like those are the teams that are jostling for position.
Yeah,
like being a team you're close to, is just much more impactful than like beating the Bombers or Chiefs who are like semi uncatchable.
Yeah,
or like Legacy and Dials, which was probably like.
You cut out a little bit, but
oh, sorry. Like, I mean, like it's just more important to beat the teams you're close to.
Oh, I agree.
The split because
and I think like
wins just mean much.
I think ladder implications as well is like Order and Gravitas are on the same points now. So like obviously week 10, I think they're actually our last game. So genuinely, it could come down to the last game. Like
that's actually crazy.
Yeah,
that's nutty.
But in saying that, like if us and Order win our next few games and then drop a couple here and there, let's say, and Mammoth do much of the same, the Mammoth's week 10 is quite hairy as well. Like they could miss out on Gauntlet. Like they're still only 7 points, and then you could argue like, yeah, they had a nice little resurgence, but also like they looked super average against Avant. So it's like, it's like.
I just think it's very close.
Yeah, it's too. I think it's actually too close to lock anyone in, and I don't even think you can lock 3rd place in.
From 3rd to 5th is like very close. I think AV now have like 2-0 over Mammoth.
Yeah, well they have 2-0.
So I think like there has to be, like we play AV this week.
Yeah.
So it's like if that game goes well to us, then it's like we have head to head because we have the 2-1. And then that serves well. We only need like tie points to get above. But like there's a lot that can happen between like now in like week 8 and like week 10. There's still like almost an entire round robin to be played.
Yeah, I think it's exciting, and the beauty is you get to cast that and I get to coach it, so fantastic. Yeah, alright, that's all from us. Apologies, my phone rang. You can't account for those ones.
Turn it off, bud.
Yeah, sorry. It's what happens when you're a mogul. You just get phone calls left and right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understand.
Yeah. So for those of you that are here and those of you that are watching, we're going to be hosting one of our players weekly. And this week, it is going to be the man in the mid lane, the player of the week maker, Harry Kang. He did try and make a lot of plays of the week this week in his like little 1v1 expeditions against Roma, but we won't touch on that. So yeah, I'll flick it over to his stream again. Thanks for joining me again, Bryce. Hey, you're a friend of the show now. Feel free to come onto the show anytime you want to come onto.
Like, literally, I am the show. I've been here.
No. Because trust me, Bryce. I won't get you back on the show. I don't need to get you back on the show.
Yeah,
But I
fair
like
enough.
you, so I will get you back on the show.
See it when it happens.
Yeah, alright. We'll talk about it when it happens. Anyway, thanks for joining me, Bryce. I'm going to flick it over to Harry's stream. Everyone that was watching it live, yeah, thanks for watching. We'll be back again same time, same place next week. Maybe Bryce will be here, maybe he won't. We'll figure that one out. But yeah, adios, Bryce, and adios, guys.
So, cheers.
For Legacy, but will they be able to do it?